Matt Davio, Miss Trade here with Tim Knight. Tim, thanks for coming on. Pre-holiday here, and I know you're busy with family. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here about trading and what a crazy livelihood we are engaged in. I've been reading your blog, and I've been reading different iterations. I'm not even sure if you called it Slope of Hope back in the 90s, but Slope of Hope is where we can find your daily missives right now, and it's a must-read for me. I've read them for years. Thanks for coming on. It's a long-winded entry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
So you're on the West Coast. I'm on the West Coast. How long have you resided out in the Bay Area?
Well, I'm a Louisiana boy myself. I was there for my childhood, but I moved out to the Bay Area when I was a young teenager, and I've been here ever since.
Did your family move out there, or was that the reason why you moved out?
Yeah, my father's job got transferred to San Francisco, and that moved us out.
Awesome. And did you end up going to school out in the Bay Area, for college?
Yeah, I went to Santa Clara University, which is right here in the Silicon Valley. And I jumped right into work immediately after that. I'd actually started working even in high school, writing computer books and articles and so forth. But as far as a full-time job, immediately after college, I joined Apple.
So you joined Apple, and what kind of work did you do during your time at Apple?
Well, funny enough, in the early 80s, very early 80s, actually 1980, when I got my first computer, it was a TRS-80. I'd never had an Apple before, but I spent the first 80 through 87 doing a lot of computer type things. I wrote a bunch of books. I wrote 20 different books about personal computers and how to use them in their applications. And I started some small businesses. I started a little magazine, a retail store, number of things prior to, quote, a real job. But I, of all things, even though I'm not a musician or anything, I was the music marketing manager at Apple when I joined them in 1987. So
you were early on that trade because music wasn't iTunes like it is today.
No, it was more of the MIDI interface and kind of working with real musicians, professionals. Yeah.
So more production quality products and those types of things.
That's right.
So it sounds like you're a pretty smart, precocious kid who has a bug for entrepreneurialism. Where did that come from?
Well, I'm sort of hung up on my own personal freedom. I really like to do what I like to do, and it seems like everyone would have the same feeling. But it's so important to me that I've always been willing to sacrifice salary and opportunity for liberty. And so I've been very much an entrepreneur, even when I was just scraping by. Because I like to, it seems like a truism to sort of follow your bliss, as it were. But I've got that really bad, so that's really where it comes from.
And I'm always curious, with the entrepreneurs, do you like the early startup phases, or do you like growing it into something bigger before getting out? Where do you fall in that spectrum? Because I think
I'm the early.
Different people.
Yeah, I'm the early startup guy because, for one thing, I am many things, but I'm not a manager. I don't think I could ever. I mean, some people are just born for that kind of thing, and I don't like to manage. So a company of about 15 to 20 people is just about as big as I like to be in. And very small companies, especially in this area, can make a lot of amazing things happen. So I'm an early guy.
And so, what was the first success that you recall having as a business person, as an entrepreneur?
Well, I mean, as a teenager, even though it wasn't a business per se, having published books was kind of a success for me because it allowed me to buy a nice car and pay my way through college and kind of pay my own living expenses. So I got a lot of independence, even right from 18 years old. I was living on my own, paying all my own way.
What is it about writing that you still do every day that is cathartic? Is it cathartic for you? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah. I do enjoy it. I guess I would say I just notice things. Maybe in a different life I could be a comedian or something like that if I had the chops for it. But I just notice things, and things strike me as funny or peculiar or ironic, and I like to share those feelings. And so the books that I wrote certainly weren't anything prosaic. It was just about, how to use Word on the Mac or how to program graphics and sounds on the Commodore 64, things like that, hardly great American novels. But the blog has allowed me to not only talk about my passion for trading, but also anything else that happens that cross my mind.
Right.
So
let's switch over to trading. When did you first start getting interested in markets? You're a writer, you're a computer scientist.
Mm-hmm.
But is that what you studied in college, by the way?
Not at all. In fact, the one C I got in college was from my computer class. The fact that I didn't attend a single session might have had.
Did I lose you?